Hey guys, I'm here with the Abus 7240. This is my entry to Snow's 50 subscriber giveaway. Congrats on that, and thank you very much for putting that giveaway together. That's very generous of you. Also, it's kind of my beginner's guide at how I approach this lock. Seeing I kind of figured it out, over the last couple hours tonight after spending like a long time, couple days at least, really struggling with this lock and finding it very difficult to open. And now it kind of makes sense to me. Um, this is how I approach it. First of all, here's the key. It does work, and that's where I started actually. I kind of took a look at this key because, until I'm at the point where I can just blind pick locks without looking, I'm going to use the key a little bit for reference if I get really stuck. So I find that it helps a lot when I can see things like this. There's some high cuts right here in the front. There's these two really low cuts right here on pin 5 or pin 4 and pin 6, and then on pin 5 I have this really high cut in between the two. So I'm gonna need a pick that can really reach high enough there, but part of the issue is with this keyway, it's a paracentric keyway, and I can't really do anything from the bottom because of the warding. So I have to work off this ledge right here, which limits my space a lot. So I kind of figured out a little trick that hopefully will help some other beginners work their way through this lock without oversetting the pins, and just to kind of get a sense of what they're working on as well. So I'm going to start with top of the keyway tension with this bent tension wrench that I kind of built for this lock, and I'm going to work my way through the pins and just see if I can find that low cut pin that I saw over there. And I took my time already to kind of figure out which pin was binding first, so I know after working with it for a while that pin 5 does bind first. So when I get to that pin 4, I can't really get under it, so I rotate my pick and I get around that pin 4 just like that until I can get right into that spot where pin 5 is. And then I can give it a little push, and then I got a little click right there. So I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to start one more time from the front, and 1 is binding actually. So I'm just going to push 1 up as high as I can until I stop feeling the bind. I'm pushing pretty moderately on my tension wrench, but I'm going to ease off a little bit whenever I kind of have to push to get something. And then I got a little click there, so I'm going to work to the next pin, see if it gives me anything. It's a little binding here, so see what happens when I push it slightly. It gave me a little click, so I'm gonna see here. I think it just kind of sprung off of it actually. Oh, there we go. Now I feel like it's set. So when I feel like it's set, it just feels kind of stiff. It doesn't feel like it's giving me very much feedback. So now I'm on pin 3, and and I'm in a really deep false set right now. I just touched pin 3, and I guess 1 and 2 were set, and so when I touched pin 3, it really gave me that deep false set, which means I think I have 5, 1, 2, and 3. So now I'm just going to work down to 4, see if I can, because I'm not open yet, and I know that pin is next, so just work. Oh, and I feel like it is binding, so I'm getting caught up on that one again. So I'm just going to try to get under it lightly and try to give it enough nudge to open it. I'm going to ease a little bit off the tension so I can work my pick lightly under it without fighting the lock too much. I feel it trying to give me that counter rotation that I want there. Oh, and we're open. Perfect. And that's all it took. So just kind of working my way through the lock bit by bit, and then eventually it gave up. And really the main part was to get a sense of where's my screwdriver here, so that way I can start gutting this here, just to kind of get a sense of what it's telling me. And when I really took the time to stop and listen to what it was saying to me, then I really could tell what it was trying to say. Simple as that. It takes time to kind of feel and get a sense of knowing what pin you're on, and that just comes with practice, but if you stick at it, it will be pretty easy to get that sense. So let's get this open here. I did post a video on my channel a couple days ago of me picking this lock, and when I got it open, I was so excited. I just freaked out. Okay, I'll just show that the core is rotated here. And I'll see it's turning freely. I'm just gonna close it and leave that key. I'll actually take it out. I'll put it in later when I remove it. And then start removing this C-clip. Oh, that went flying there. And let's get that key now. Put it in here. And I'm gonna start with a little makeshift follower that where did I put that? Should have probably been a little bit better prepared. Oh, here it is. The best followers in the business. All right. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. Keep that here so it's visible. And I'll drop my key pins out. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I went to the wrong spot. 4 and 5. Okay. Oh no, there's 6. I don't want to forget the 6. Keep forgetting that. Now we'll go for these driver pins. Fix all this quickly. Yeah, and 6 is very high. I probably didn't even need to touch that one at all. That's why. Even also 4 is very high, so I don't know exactly why I didn't have to touch 6, but we'll see in a second when I actually start putting it all back together. So I have in slot 1 right here, just a standard pin. Slot 2, got a spool. Slot 3, another spool. Oh, that's the spring. Get these out here. Slot 4, it's a spool. Slot 5, it's a spool, and slot 6, it's also a spool. Get these springs out of here. All right, get it all nice and organized again. And I'll zoom in on these key pins or on these pins very quickly, so that way you guys can get a sense or a look at what I was working with there. Okay, so standard pin in driver slot 1, and then 5 spools from 2 to 6, and then just regular key pins. Now, I'm just going to check one thing really quickly before I end the video here. And this is a good little tip for other beginners who are interested in kind of understanding more about their locks once you get into taking them apart and everything. If you put your key in, or this is also a good tip if you lose the order of your key pins. So you put your key in, and then you start to put your pins back. They should reach right on that shear line. You see how it's flush with the shear line? So I'm gonna take all the pins. So if you lose your order, you can just kind of play around until you figure out which ones are the right ones for that order, just as long as you don't lose the pins themselves. Oh, come on. 2, 3 is flipped around. There's always a pointy end to these key pins, so make sure you get the pointy end downwards. Oh, there we go. I thought I flung it out of my there for a second. Ugh. Flung it out that time. I anticipated it. Sorry, guys. Going as fast as I can. This must be very frustrating to watch. Okay. There. 5, and last one is 6. Okay, so what I want to check here quickly is when I take this out, look how close 4 and 6 are to the shear line already. So I didn't need to touch them very much in order to set them. I don't even remember really touching 6 at all, but I must have nudged him just ever so slightly once I got to kind of this point. And what I'm doing right now is actually a really good trick that I found for myself to get a sense of where my pick is to actually, when you take the core out, stick your pick in and just look to see which pin you're touching. You can even mark little lines on your pick, even though it might seem a little silly. It'll really help you at first to get a sense of where the slots are. In fact, I'll just show you really quick. I have a pick here somewhere that I did that exactly. So I have some lines marked, and now I don't really even need those lines anymore. I can pretty much feel now that I got a sense of what I was feeling for. So anyways, that's my submission for Snow's video or contest and my beginner's guide for the ABIS 7240. Here, I'll bring Ori to say hi because he likes to have his cameo. Say hi, Ori. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Have a nice day or evening or wherever you're from, whatever it is. See ya.